Hey guys, I'm back with another Omega Mart / DramCorp video. And I want to tell you guys, even though I can't physically make it out due to my disability, um, I don't know if Omega Mart would allow a visually impaired person flu, because they would say, no, you're too high risk because there's portal craziness or whatever, and they're probably right. It would be a navigation hazard considering the portals. But anyway, the possible portals, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Um, Basically, I've been trying to solve the lore at home by going second hand, if not third / fourth hand. And I want to give a massive shout out to people who provided, videos on YouTube, stuff like that. I can't name everybody, but but everybody that physically was able to go to Megamart and show their footage on YouTube, it's really helping solve the mystery and hopefully unlock deeper parts, because there's word that there's a lot door, and it's our job as Omega fans to try to break it open to solve more of the lore. And so what I did is I've been rummaging around um Omega Mart videos to get a sense of the story, who we're dealing with. It's obviously Omega Mart and their formation organization, DramCorp, and which I like to call flat out Dram Corporation. Because I get Oscorp vibes from, you know, from this. And, like Oscorp Alchemax, um, the Hanzo Foundation, if you saw Lost, um, corporations like that. But Jan Corp, as I'm starting to learn, which we'll discuss shortly, is very different. They do have some Alchemax vibes, with the science, and we'll explain that in a bit. Now I do want to warn people that if you do want to physically go and are in Las Vegas, be warned, there will be spoilers for the physical facility, so be warned. If you're gonna go, be warned, there may be spoilers for the physical facility. Yeah, so let's get started. Remember this?
Omega Mart, your super friendly store. The savings start when you come in our door. You'll fill your cart with such a lot and more. We sell what you want most, 'cause we're local, coast to coast. You'll fall in love with all you see. Just one touch, you're who you want to be. And every time we meet you, we like you more. You have no idea what's in store. Dad likes his corn. The oranges make one smile. Value at all cost. We go the extra mile. The savings never quit. There's more on every aisle. We're so glad you came. Your family won't be the same. Omega Mart, your trusted name. For more, for less to pay. Omega Mart, you have no idea. Omega Mart, what's in store? Omega Mart, you have no idea. Omega Mart, what's in store? Omega Mart.
That's right, Omega Mart. Now, I did do a video on them recently, giving a theory of what the lore could be, like how it's of this element in our bodies and blah blah blah. Is it blood? Is it not? And I've been trying to discover one of the first major things of Omega Mart, and that is this additive in a large print red letter S. Additive S. And I've been always wondering, what is it? Is it in our blood? Is it something you get, you do a blood drive and say, donate blah 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 blah, you know, something something. And is it something similar to a blood drive where you have humans donate their blood and you siphon the additive S from that? Now let's see what DramCorp has to say about it.
What you see here is an epical achievement. A sophisticated biosupplement synthesized by the DramCorp Advanced Research Team. We call it Additive S. All natural and completely safe.
That's how they put it. But anyway, let's learn about this corporation a little bit. Now, DramCorp was founded in 1977 by a gentleman named Walter Garfield Dram, and he became a superhero one day, rescuing a dying convenience store and transforms it into the grocery store you see today, Omega Mart. Now, when it comes to what that video said, now that video you can find on DramCorp.com, DramCorp.com, and it talked a little bit about additive S, but I was like, glad it's safe, glad it's natural, because, well, they're right about the natural part, because, well, guess where that additive S comes from? Us. Yup, I'm not lying when I say additive S is from our bodies, somehow, some way, some form. Basically, if you look at DramCorp's video, they show what additive S looks like. And by the impression, it reminded me of some sort of red liquid or blood, or something from our DNA, that controls desirability and soothingness and calmness and blah blah. And we kind of find out that it's normally called, its real name is known as human element, or as some like to nickname it, human element, source, or the source. And basically, we kind of have something in our DNA that controls desirability, soothing, calmness, and that's what DramCorp is looking for. And now, the way they extract it, like gather samples, if you will, is sending you down these crazy slides, and you don't. I don't know if you feel it or not. Like, I don't know if it hurts a little bit. Like, hey, Dart, does it hurt a tiny bit? Like, do you feel a little bit of weird feeling that should come out? And how long does it take to recover from that possible weird feeling, if so? Because there are videos where people legit go down this tube as DramCorp's DART team, which stands for D, DramCorp, A, Advanced R Research Team, or for short, DART, DART. And they discovered, oh, wait a minute, we can take this fluid, this blood-like fluid from humans, and maybe it'll help with our products. And now there's going to be probably a new deficiency on the block, S deficiency. Well, who knows? Probably one day, but I digress. But basically, DramCorp will send, well, their DART scientists and DART doctors will send people down these slides. Sorry for not having videos of that, but if you watch various Omega Mart videos, there's a facility straight at Omega Mart behind. There's a small little section that's connected to the store, kind of like a built-in factory, if you will. Like don't have to go to the Dart Lab all the way to DramCorp to do it. Why not bring the factory over here? And sure enough, they do that. And in the back of Omega Mart, there's a straight up Dart Lab or Dart Factory. And that's where the human element donation happens, and where they synthesize it into the quote additive S. And basically, there's 3 phases, gathering a sample, refining it, and injecting it, infusing it into whatever products they have. And they have several, they didn't do this willy-nilly, I don't think, because I bet DART put a lot of thought into it, going, wait a minute, we should test this first. And sure enough, they do. They test it on the zillion of people who have various ranges of, I don't know if you call it side effects, or how they react to it, how their body handles the additive S and that kind of thing. But basically, DART takes several years to test it on humans, if not more, to make sure it's additive S truly safe. Let's run some tests, and they end up running these tests on additive S, and sure enough, it seems to work. The one side effect is you go It's not just Walter Dram who is running DramCorp. There is a woman by the name of Cecilia Dram who turns out to be his child, Walter Dram's child, and she's in on it, so she joins the team, she joins the party, and then what happens one day, I looked up videos about Cecilia Dram. Now I'm not gonna show them because there's no audio. But basically, Cecilia one day ends up going to 7th Monolith Village, which is either a country or a village somewhere on the outskirts of a desert, and she participates in this ritual that infuses her with that same additive. But only difference is it's not refined yet, so she drinks it straight, going through a ceremony. And the next thing Cecilia knows, she's pregnant, and she gives birth to a little baby girl. She names Marin Dram. Now Marin's middle name is not known. But I bet it'd be Marin, probably coming from her mother, or something from the Dram family, like Marin Cecilia Dram, but I digress. But Cecilia Dram is not a new active CEO of DramCorp. The reason is Walter, in the words of Cecilia, thought it was time, okay, someone needs to take over because, I'm getting up there in age and it's time to retire. And there's been various video clips of what happened to Mr. Dram, who now supposedly stepped down, and it's
Marin is special, Dad, in so many ways. She's going to change everything for us.
Marin. Apparently, Marin has this ability or power that only occurs when she falls asleep. Like the moment she closes those little eyes, shit breaks loose. And she's struggling to contain it. It's keeping her up at night. Which who wouldn't? It'd be like, oh man, I'm so tired, but every time I sleep, these powers, yeah, I can imagine, trying to sleep with whatever the heck Marin's got. And as it turns out, Marin seems to be created from raw, undefined human element source or additive S, which means she can't leave 7th Monolith Village at all, and if she does, well, she'll, in the words of Cecilia, ascend but never come back from that ascension, in a way. But anyway, Marin, the daughter of Cecilia, has these crazy powers that she can't control, and she has this either phobia or hatred for Omega Mart and DramCorp. Like, she could have DramCorp phobia, or that phobia that makes you fear corporate science, one of the two, in this case, DART. And Marin seems to, go, I don't want to be a patient for her, because as it turns out in that video, from other videos I've gathered, Walter is planning to take Marin in to DART, to the DART team, and use her as basically a test subject, for their experiments. So she would be in the shoes of that one guy, apparently, who would lie. Only difference is, like you saw earlier in this video, and Cecilia's like, no, please. And that's the first time I see Cecilia reject DramCorp a little bit and go, wait, no, I love her. She's my child. Please, no. Please, no, Dart, don't hurt her. And Cecilia's like, please, no. Please, no, Dart, don't hurt her. Please, no, please. And she ends up having her father join her new program that she sets up called the Leadership Ascension Track. And as soon as he becomes a member, Walter is nowhere to be seen again. Now, I don't know if you become a member, if that same thing will happen to you too. Or if, the program will let you live. So you don't pull a Walter Dram. When it comes down to it, Marin, she has this phobia or hatred, whatever is her deal. Like, Marin, leave a comment, Marin, if this transmits to you, what's wrong? Do you fear DramCorp? Do you hate DramCorp? Talk to us, But anyway, oh, and by the way, as of June 26th, if you guys have been paying attention and reading the Meow Wolf Wikipedia on Marin, the article on Marin, she was born June 26th, year unknown. But my guess has to be, since she will be supposedly 17 now, as of June 26, 2021. Yeah, my guess has to be 2002 or 2003. But anyway, when it comes to Marin, she's stuck at the village. She can't leave. But now, after Walter disappearing out of thin air, Cecilia can now, quote, rest easy. And it's like, Marin's safe. And Marin has these interesting abilities to where when she goes to sleep, she has these weird phases. And it causes a portal to erupt out of nowhere. And she wakes up. Huh? Where did that come from? And then she covers it with a poster. And one note I'll make here, Marin too is a nerd. Marin too is a nerd of this band or a group called Heartthrob Boy. And that's pretty fun to see how somebody else is a nerd, a character is a nerd just like you. But for Marin, for me, it's Star Wars and Marvel, Spider-Man and Luke Skywalker. For Marin, it's Heartthrob Boy. And I don't know if they're a band. I never heard some Heartthrob Boy songs, if they are a band. But anyway, that'll be probably cracked down later in the story to figuring out who the heck Heartthrob Boy are. And whether or not they're a band or something else. But anyway, now with Walter Kaplui, sadly, but it seems like, in the words of Cecilia, he ascended or transcended this reality, based on some videos I've watched. And there's basically, where Cecilia says,
We're just talking about my father. And no, he's not dead.
Oh, good.
He's simply not with us any longer.
Miss Dram, as DramCorp's counsel, I need to know exactly what's going on. What happened to Walter?
Sandro, He entered the source.
Entered the source?
Is there any way I could be clearer?
We could say he journeyed on. He leveled up, transcended this reality.
Let's go with ascended.
I'm sorry. Ascended. Miss Dram, what does that mean?
Exactly, Sandro. What does that mean? Legally.
Since her father hasn't died in any strict sense.
Right.
But his will and assets still remain.
Are you asking me to obtain Walter's estate without a death certificate?
She's asking how to fulfill Walter Dram's vision for this corporation despite these miraculous circumstances.
Thank you. Honestly.
Even DramCorp are confused. And yeah. And that's how she puts it. Apparently he ascended via the source. Or something happened to his human element that made him go, yeah. But when it comes to participating, you can choose one of 3 sides. And these sides are DramCorp or the evil Monolith group that was set up by 7th Monolith villagers. Apparently some hate DramCorp so much that they're like giving the middle finger to DramCorp and going, fuck you, DramCorp, and yeah. And now I want to show you what happens when you join the DramCorp side. In this case, it'd be the Leadership Ascension track, L, capital L, capital A, capital T. And this is what happens when you join the ranks of L.A.T.
7 colors, 7 aspects, blending into pure spectral light. Congratulations, Aspent. I have chosen you. Yes, you. For the Leadership Ascension track. I observe in you an extraordinary high-frequency vibration and a fascinating potential resonance with a most distinct element, something we call source. Feel the questions forming in your heart and mind. What is source? What can source do for me? The answers to these questions have been sought by powerful entities for millions of years. The answers lie within the Leadership Ascension track. Join us and become a leader in the next phase of human evolution.
And this is what's gonna happen when you join the ranks of the dipshits of, I call the anti-DramCorp. But here's what happens. You get to, if you're a member of the evil Monolith group, this is what basically happens. Hard to understand in their normal form, but I edited them to help them be easier to understand and have large print subtitles. And this is what you basically get if you join the evil Monolith group.
your skills and allegiance by throwing a wrench at DramCorp's machine. We may have won this fight, but the battle to free the source is just beginning. Now we need you to lay low until we're ready to make our next move. Those DramCorp drones will be looking for you. Keep a low profile and we'll be in touch soon. Welcome to Monolith.
Now, the reason for this evil group is, in their mind, Seventh Monolith Village became landfills and for DramCorp psychedelic Rana, as I like to evilly put it. And there's actually a section that shows what Seventh Monolith Village looks like. Because unfortunately, at the Dart Laboratory, some additive vests accidentally spilled out by accident. And I bet it wasn't Dart's fault. I bet, they're still learning this and, and the location of the laboratory is right at Seventh Monolith Village. They probably made one mistake by building the lab too close to where the villagers possibly, reside. And what Dart should have done was built something of fencing to contain, that, that collected human element, like something for it to collect to, like a trough or those large, like what you store oil in, at a factory, what factories store oil in, stuff like that. And it accidentally spilled out and broke Seventh Monolith Village. And even though some people, ran away from it, but still, it's the way the Monolith goes about it, hacking into a system and going, "Oh, do you like DramCorp stuff way too much? Well, it has too much of this and too many of that." What they should have done was sent a video message saying, "Dear Drag Corporation, this is Seventh Monolith Village. Something went up with your laboratory. If you're able to fix it, please do so. We're getting hurt down here." Rather than going, yeah, not a good way to go about your awareness. But anyway, one, hacking's illegal, whether you're a villager or the village or America, doesn't matter. Yeah. Their message is right, but their execution is highly illegal. No offense. DramCorp would put whoever the member is under arrest. And speaking of members, I think I found a prime suspect. Laura, Jesse, and maybe Zemina, but yeah, those are the two culprits I've discovered via second and third hand. And I want to give a massive shout out to those people, by the way. And when it comes to Marin, it turns out she's missing as of the start of the year. And if we look at Marin, it turns out she's missing in her hometown, and this says missing Marion Dram. I'm gonna magnify the tiny text. Last seen near the source well on January 12th, 2021 by Fork, meaning the Forked Earth, was wearing a red jacket, white shirt, blue jeans, and a purple chain necklace. Missing under suspicious circumstances. Please call 376-676 immediately with any information information pertinent to the investigation. I don't know what that means. Pardon me, particulate, and as it turns out, some videos had this, and it's an update from Marin herself. Now it's a little bit hard for me to read, but I'm gonna make it as big as possible, because this. Apparently, I don't think Marin wanted anybody to see, but, basically, if we read this as best as I can, Marin at forkdiner.net. Wow. To Jessica. And the update is, I'm alive. Dear Charlie and Jesse, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I opened the portal. And it's so not small, but it's covered by this, on my own. And now I'm now gone or done. No, now I don't need a dream to open them. Oh, I think she watched my video, my message to her. I think my message got through. Learning how to use her powers finally. Don't need a dream anymore to open them. I just can. I promise I'll see you again someday, but for now, I need to follow my dreams literally. I love you both. Take care, everyone at home. For me, to my mom, I'm okay, and that I forgive you. Tell my mom I'm okay and that I forgive her. Aw. Marin. One regards, Marin. Yeah. And so apparently it appears that she's alright. She's alive. And which is a huge relief. It's a huge relief. And I think I just solved two mysteries there. The culprit behind the group and what the heck happened to Marin. And a theory on what additive S could be. There's no information yet describing what additive S really is, other than a liquefied desire or calmness, but it's red. So I thought it was probably blood or something. And Yeah, this is an interesting investigation here. All in all, when it comes to which side you choose, just be smart and have a brain. Um, like, I just don't like the way the Monolith group sends its message out. Although they're right with hey, help us, something happened. They don't describe what happened to their village. They just say, oh, Seventh Monolith Village became a landfill. This we're not gonna explain how. Um, like, yeah, that's just, I don't want to say inappropriate, but you gotta really explain the reason for your awareness as well. Otherwise, it's not gonna be valid. Um, but anyway, when it comes to each side, look at the Monolith group side. When you hack the DRAM ports, as these thingies are called, um, you get messages like, uh, yeah, yeah. So I don't know how I feel about joining a group like, yeah, like I would be totally uncomfortable. Um, because it's like, who are you? You know, that'd be the next mystery to solve. Who the fuck is the talking voice um of this group that says all these things like, I take the customers, are you looking Draco stuff's a little too much? That voice. Um yeah. It's more demonic than what my edit is. Um yeah, it's like, what the fuck? um and when it comes to Omega Mart, um the staff, if you're in the store and that message is going around, the employees will be like, hey, don't worry about it. That's just inappropriate. Additive S is stable, it's safe, it's blah blah. Make sure you have it every day, blah blah. To keep healthy, I don't know, like keep healthy and calm, I guess. Like, um, and because judging by some videos, it has a soothing effect similar to Alchemax's drug rapture. Like when you take it, it soothes and calms you down, and you can think of nothing but, today's a good day. Yeah, yeah. But basically, all in all, um, for me, I would join DramCorp. This is why. DramCorp, they explain it. They explain to you dark means this. We're gonna extract some human element cells from you. This is why. And DramCorp, all in all, they have stuff that actually help you. Like if you're in a store at the pharmacy section that reads large print pharma table, um, and there's like next to it something that's similar to a blood pressure station, but instead of checking your blood pressure, it's checking these levels. The top being the top row being GAB, which I don't know what that is. Is that a different kind of blood sugar that we don't know about? And another one below it reads FED. Um, and it's like, you know, what is that scanning for? Is it scanning what's a GAB level? What's the FED level? What's the normal for what's the normal GAB level, what's the normal Fed level, and stuff like that. It might relate to how much additive rest you're taking, maybe. And I bet DramCorp are on a head start of not allowing S deficiency as it were to happen with that thing to buy it. Because if you look at it, you put your arm in, you touch this little stick, it tells you to put your arm in, grab the stick, wave it left and right, and press the button, and then it'll ask you to hold still and enjoy, and it gives you, and DramCorp gives you like a test that measures how much desire you have, like whether you're high, low, medium, or what they consider the norm. But when it comes to it, DramCorp, it looks like they care just by that little machine you can do at the pharmacy. Plus, they got medicine, like, I don't know if I can pronounce this right, but it's called L.A.T, and it's called oniric inhibitor, which is basically a dream inhibitor. I'm like, man, give me a prescription, DramCorp, because I have, nightmares every now and again. Give me a prescription for L.A.T. It could probably help me sleep better. Because, yeah. But anyway, now I want to discuss DramCorp's divisions. They're no different from Omega Mart with divisions, but rather than R&D, they got Dart and they also have another division that's the medical section, I believe, called Dart Med. And if we look at the picture I'm showing up on screen, I'm gonna make mine big enough to read, but you can read the image you see as normal. And it's called Dart Med or Dart Medical, and it's on these signs that warn of portal collapsation or quantum collapsation, whatever the medical condition is. Quantum collapsation syndrome. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dart. But anyway, there'll be a sign reading, if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, please call Dart Med immediately at 376-633. And that'd be a good pro tip to have, like put Dart Med on speed dial. I'm gonna need them. Cause I'm fragile. Dart. So if I were a Portal Hawk, I would probably get the first sign immediately. And probably be like, uh-oh. Dude, Dartmouth, I don't feel very good. Yeah. But anyway, it's pretty amazing, what DramCorp has to help you. What does the Monolith have? You don't know what the Monolith is going to provide you. DramCorp has a website, they have a medical division, a science division, and a form of Dart Medical and Dart. The Monolith doesn't do that. Like, the Monolith, they don't have mono medical or mono, like, whatever their science division might be, if they care about science. because it looks like they fucking don't. And being a lover of science myself, I would join the ranks of darts, maybe, you know? Because I don't feel L.A.T ready. No offense, Mrs. Dram, but I don't get to have you holding my hand because I'm not in Las Vegas. No offense, but I wouldn't mind joining the ranks of dart because I love science, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, there you go, guys. That's Omega Mart lore summed up in one long ass video. Now, I pray YouTube takes this because this is gonna be I'm gonna compile this into one giant video. I pray you guys can watch it all. But please do your absolute best. Feel free to put this in your watch later list or pause at a section, take a break, come back to the section you left off on. But anyway, there's Omega Mart and Dram Corporation summed up. And I have to say, it would be, you know, I'm joining DramCorp. Screw the Monolith. Although I said my prayers to Seventh Monolith Village, but what the Monolith group is doing is illegal. The way they spread their awareness message like that. DramCorp all the way for me. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mega long video, and I pray you're able to handle mega long videos like this. And because I try not to make them very long, but when there's so much of something, like say in this case lore, it needs a lot of explaining, exploring, and discovering. Like this took me a couple days, if not a week, to several weeks, to almost a month to almost figure 2 parts out. And it turns out the Monolith group, they're not good people. Like, DramCorp all the way. See you guys later.